So now that The Boys has officially wrapped up with season 5, here's my overall review of the season and the series as a whole. Now, starting off with this season as a whole, I thought it was okay. I definitely think that people were hating on it a little too much. I understand why people were giving it a lot of hate, mainly due to the fact of from basically episode 3 to episode 6, it all felt like a lot of like Vought Rising setup for the spinoff that's gonna be coming out next year that follows Soldier Boy. So I understand why, but I feel like there could have been a way that the writers could have made that middle portion of the season not as set up for Vought Rising and more just have it be these characters figuring out a way to try to stop Homelander to get the V1 and all that stuff. But overall, I think the way that it was utilized as a whole for Soldier Boy's story, I think was okay. Now onto our characters here. The fact that we almost off the top of my head, almost every single episode had a character die off. I think that was just really, really interesting. From the first episode, it was our boy A Train, who had in my opinion, one of the best redemption arcs in a lot of media. So that was really sad, but it was really good. Episode 2, we thought Soldier Boy died, but no, in actuality, he was alive. And then just from a couple episodes to Noir's death, to Firecracker's death, to Deep, Homelander, I just think, and to Butchers and Frenchies, I just think that those deaths were good for the story as a whole and not just dad shock value, because especially when it came to Butcher, like the only way that this show was going to end was if Butcher and Homelander died. Like there was no way that one of them could walk out of the show alive, and I'm glad that the showrunners and the writers, they stuck to that belief and just went with taking out Homelander, taking out both of them, because it was what needed to happen. Now, aside from the setup, did the season have some problems? Yes. I really did not like how, mainly with like the Gen V stuff. Like obviously the Gen V stuff didn't have too much of a role in the season as a whole. It was only until the season last episode and the series finale where we actually see some of the Gen V characters like Marie, Jordan, and Emma. But and I understand that like there were plans for a Gen V season 3, which I am sad that there's not going to be a Gen V season 3 anymore. But in my opinion, like I am upset that we're basically not going to get any more resolution with those characters, because for me personally, I'm not really interested in seeing Vault Rising. I'm probably not going to watch it. The Boys Mexico spinoff TV show, I don't even know if we're going to see any of the Gen V characters in that. So even if we do, I'm still probably not going to watch it. So it is sad that the way that they were handled and how they could have been more utilized in this show as a whole in this final season, I think could have been better. But you know what can you do about it? Now, on to the boys themselves. I think all these characters had their own good moments to shine. Frenchie was my go. I had a very good feeling that at least two of these characters here were gonna die. I know in the comics, like all the boys die except for Annie and Huey. So I'm really glad that MM and Kimiko also survived for their plot and stuff, and they absolutely deserved it. I feel like of all these characters, of all these 7 characters that you see on screen, I feel like the MM, Huey, Annie, and Kimiko, they were the ones that needed to survive, because Frenchie, he always felt like he could never atone for his sins that he made in the past, and the fact that he made the sacrifice to hold off Homelander and just do what he could to try to save Kimiko, I think that was just really, really good. And Butcher, that there was no real redemption for him even after he killed Homelander, he was still willing to kill Annie, Kimiko, and basically every soup in the world, which was just really messed up in my opinion. So in the end, I think both of their stories ended off really, really good. Now, Homelander is a very mixed bag for me just because of his brain is so fucked. I really can't explain how fucked of a brain he has as a whole, because throughout this season, when it comes to even how he was in the previous seasons, when it came to his breast milk fetish, and now with this season, his obsession with becoming a god, I think that was just really, really weird. And it's like, I think that's one of the reasons, and sorry, I'm kind of gonna go on a tangent a little bit, but I think that's one of the reasons why I never really enjoyed like the evil Superman thing, because Homelander was just basically an evil Superman. And I'm just really glad that hopefully starting now that the boys is done, I not just me, but like superhero media as a whole, we won't be dealing with evil Supermen for a long time now. Like when it comes to Invincible, Nolan's no longer evil, so it's like I really hope that we don't get to this retread of evil Superman again. Now on to the side characters and just characters who we really don't know what's going to happen to them in the future now. Like Sage, she's normal thinking now. She's not incredibly smart anymore. So I can assume that she will spend the rest of her life just enjoying life and not being the semi-genocidal maniac that she was when she was wanting to kill both humans and soups. So I hope Sage has a good life. Ashley, Ashley's the one that I feel like you have to feel bad for, but it's like I'm happy that she got the fate that she did, where she just goes to prison, because the fact that she was almost okay with letting Homelander become the god that he wanted to be, that was just insane. And again, I'll give her points for her redemption in the finale, where she actually helped the boys get into the White House and all that stuff. But good lord, Ashley, but like her fate in that was just very, very good. Deep Deep dying was something I was just so happy that happened. I was going to be so angry if Deep had somehow survived this show, because the fact that he made it to season 5, the final season of the series, and he did not die was just so mind-blowing. And I'm glad that it was the way that it was teased that he was. I'm glad that the way that he died was the way it was teased in the last episode, where the Samuel L. Jackson shark said, "If you come in the water, we will kill you." And I think that was just a beautiful way for him to die, in my opinion. And obviously, we had to talk about the final battle between Butcher and Homelander. Carl Urban and Anthony Starr, they killed it. Like you could tell that this was years of anger and resentment towards each other building up to it, and from their fight when they had their powers to the fight when they both lost their powers. I just think that was just done really, really cool. And honestly, I just really enjoyed that fight. Like I was just rooting. I wasn't jumping up and down screaming excited, but I was just happy that we got to see Homelander and Butcher fight. And then it was also cool being able to see the Ryan come in and help Butcher stop Homelander, and then obviously Kamiko being the final thing that gets Homelander's power stripped and his immortality. I just think that was just really, really done well. And yeah, this series as a whole, it's so weird for me because there are things I love about it, but then it's just the over the top gore is just a little too much for me. But I'm glad that this season, in a way, kind of held back a little bit. Obviously, there were some gory parts, but it's like it wasn't as ridiculous as the previous 4 seasons as a whole. Now, on the screen right now, you can see my final ranking for The Boys Season 5, and you can also see my ranking of all 5 seasons of The Boys. And overall, I'm gonna miss the show. Like, I really did enjoy the aspect of the show. I fully got into the show when Season 3 came out, so I obviously didn't watch Season 1 and 2 when it was airing. So Season 3 was my first interaction with it. But this series as a whole was really good. I do think that this final season was okay. Was it perfect? Absolutely not. No, there were some problems I had with it. But I do feel like overall this series ended on a high note, which is something that not a lot of series can say nowadays when it comes to streaming services as a whole. But let me know down in the comments what you thought of The Boys Season 5 series finale. Let me know in the comments if you loved The Boys Season 5, if you're at least intrigued to see what's going to happen with the rest of The Boys series. Me personally, I'm probably not going to. I think this is going to be my last interaction with The Boys series as a whole, but who knows? We'll just see. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Josh from Raiders Reviews, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.